Hey there, CIS277. Welcome to session 10. Words I can hardly believe as I used them. In the previous session, session 9, you will have completed up until now the midterm. I don't have any preliminary results to give you because as of recording of this, there's actually just one submission. So one submission does not a pattern make, so I can't really provide you with any feedback there as to what is happening, on a vocabulary level with everybody. But what I will tell you is, well, two things, I guess. Number one, I absolutely positively do intend on, like, at the end of today, when that submission window closes, it's worth 50% less than it was. So I don't believe that that is going to apply to many or most of you, but still, it warrants my reminding. And number two, based on whatever the findings are from the results of the midterm, what I'll do is, if there's trends, and I'll call them negative trends, where there was a bunch of incorrect answering happening, what I'll do is I'll put out another supplemental video just to help frame and define those things, so that that's something, again, that we can ensure that you have the correct jargon for when it is that you go and interact with other developers in a, at an industry someplace. I really can't stress enough how big a deal, even just on an interview, the jargon is. If you can nail that part, it shows that you understand the shorthand of the language, right? So that means that you will be able to interact with other developers in the shorthand that they are going to use. For this upcoming session, so that's previous, let's look forward. We've got a couple of things. Number one is we're going to cover the first half of chapter 13. This first step into classes is, for a lot of students, dissimilar to what they have seen before. Actually, it's one of the things that the first few weeks of this course has reinforced for me. Is it's really dangerous to assume that everybody has seen classes and objects in this language or in other languages, so as not to step in that trap again. And because chapter 13 is 100 pages, and I'm a realist, I know that that is more than any of you want or will successfully do in a week. So we are breaking it down into 2 sessions so as to get the most utility out of what we need to do with classes. So in this first session, we will cover through I believe it's 13.8, the destructor. And then next session, we will pick up with 13.9 and go through the end of, all the way through to the end of the chapter there. One note here on the I'm going to call it the balance of videos moving forward. I've given it 10 weeks with the volume of videos that, the first 9 sessions had all of them seen, I guess with the exception of the midterm, which only did have the one video. You didn't need me prattling on about anything else. And I can tell by the views that, quite simply, they are not being used. It's not a good use of my time to put together 8 hours of videos for you if they get 0 views. So moving forward, this is what we're going to do. I am going to hit, in really general terms, the high points from the chapters as far as chapter materials go. I'm no longer interested in providing you with material that you will not use. It's not a good use of my time. So I'm going to hit the high points like we would do in a classroom, which is going to assume that you are reading the material and that you are developing questions, and then we'll talk about the big high-ticket items. I will also continue to provide a couple of I'm going to call them the higher order code samples like we've been doing. I really do believe that the code sample is the thing that gets a struggling student from an 80% understanding of what is happening, that last 20% all the way to 100% of what is happening. So I am not going to spite everybody. The content there, I want to make sure that hell or high water, those are there in the case that any of you happen across them, which I'm looking at the numbers now, you ain't. So that's going to be what you'll see for the video content. I'm still going to do these session overviews because that way, if I get questions about what are we doing, what have we done, I can point to these and go, watch them. I can tell you didn't because the watch count is still at 0. And at least I don't feel quite as crazy repeating myself. So that is what to expect here on session 10. We are moving along quickly, and as far as the content goes, we really only have this and 4 more sessions of new material coming. So, you know, as what is interminably long as the semester may or may not have already felt, the inertia is picking up here, and we really truly are getting down to the crunch time here for the semester. So congratulations. It's like a bull ride. You've already held on for 4 seconds, just a couple more, and at least that way we'll throw you off at the end. So have at it, 277.